Hello, Excel and data lovers from around the world. Myself, C.S. Saran Kumar from India, bringing you another insightful episode on Here the Excelism. If you are always on the lookout for smart and efficient ways to manipulate your data, then you are in the right place. Today, we will be exploring the dynamic capabilities of Power Query, a tool that is rapidly becoming a favorite in the Excel community. Specifically, we will tackle the challenge of repeating the rows based on the specified column value, a trick that can prove invaluable in a variety of real world scenarios. Imagine you have a data like this, a list of entities and corresponding value indicating how many times each entity should be represented. How would you go about expanding this in Excel without manually copying and pasting? Certainly not like that. There is a much smarter way. And today we are going to walk through it step by step. All right, without further ado, let's dive right into our case study and demonstration. Imagine this dataset represents a list of clients in a financial advisory firm portfolio. Each client has invested in a specific type of financial instrument, the quarterly payments. This column indicates the number of payments or returns the client is set to receive each year. By using Power Query to repeat rows based on the quarterly payments column, financial advisors or account managers can swiftly generate a detailed calendar or ledger representing each individual payment or return for each client throughout the year. This would be especially useful for planning, budgeting, and forecasting cash flows and would provide clarity to both the firm and the client regarding the schedule of payments. Let me do this in the Power Query. Let me convert this into table format. Control plus T is the shortcut. Otherwise, you can go to the insert, click table. Otherwise, you can go to the home tab. You can select any of the table style. Automatically, it's going to ask you to convert into the table. I use the shortcut Control plus T. Make sure that your checkbox is enabled. My table has headers. Once I click OK, this converted into the table format. Now I can go to the data. I can take this data into my Power Query. This data got loaded. Let me give this name as a base data. The query name is the base data now. Now what I am looking for, I want Saran and Sons corporate bond investment type should repeat 4 times. This particular record must appear 4 times. It should be 1, it should be 2, it should be 3, and it should be 4. After this, then the second client name and investment type should appear. Then Upalapati Group Mutual Fund should appear number of times 3 and so on. How we can solve this? Let's look into the first method. I'll add the column, custom column. Let me start keeping the new column name as a new. I'm going to use a function called equal to list dot repeat, open bracket. If you can see, this function is having two arguments, list and count as number. Because it is a list expecting, let me take in the flower bracket. Either you can take client name or you can take investment type. Anything is fine. Let me take the client name, close the list, comma. How many number of times it has to repeat? The number of times is nothing but the quarterly payment. Let me double click this, close bracket. So that this particular client name will repeat these many times which are there in the quarterly payment. So each in the new column it's going to create called new. Each row is going to give me a list of items. A list of items is nothing but Saran and company gonna repeat 4 times. That list will come here. Uppalapati and group gonna repeat 3 times. That list is going to come here. So next column called new will be having list of values. Let me click OK. If you can see here, you can click any of the blank space in this cell. You can see the list of values here. Check it out. Saran and Sons repeated 4 times. Uppalapati Group repeated just 3 times because the quarterly payments are three. Harsha Finance repeated 2 times. This got repeated 4 times. This got repeated only 1 time. Now I just need to expand this list. You can just click this because it's a list. It is asking you to expand to the new rows. Click it. Once you click expand to the new rows, everything got expanded. Now Saran and Sons, Uppalapati Group, Harsha Finance, Vishnu Holdings, Maru Associates repeated number of times which mentioned in the base data. This is one way of doing the work. If you don't want any columns, probably let me delete this particular column because anyway this is not required. Let me remove. Everything is perfect. Now let me duplicate this. Let us see the method number 2. Earlier, whatever I said is the method 1. Let's say this is method 2. Let me rename this Power Query as a method 1. The little limitation to the method 1 is if I want to have a number like this, because it got repeated 4 times, right? I want 1 here, I want maybe 2 here, I want 3 here, and I want 4 here. Is it possible? From this method, it's not possible. However, let us look into this method whether it is possible or not. I'll delete all these steps. I don't want even this. Now let me go to the add column. Let me create a custom column. In this custom column, the new column name I would like to give is new. I want to use one function called list.numbers. List.numbers. What is the starting number? I'm looking for 1, comma. What is the count? I want it should give me the numbers start from 1 till quarterly payments. If it is 4, it's going to give 1, 2, 3, 4. If it is 3, it's going to give 1, 2, 3. If it is 2, it's going to give you 1, 2. Let me close bracket. Click OK. This function list.numbers works for each row. It's going to take 1 till 4. So you'll find a list of serial numbers start from 1 till 4. If you can just go here, because I'm looking for 3, 1 to 3. Because it's 2, 1 to 2. This is just 1, it has given 1. Now simply I can expand to the new rows. Whatever the limitation earlier method is having, because I cannot have 1, 2, 3, 4 as a serial number, this particular limitation overcome in the second method. Now you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, because this has to be repeated only 2 times. Excellent. Let us look into the third method, much simple method than previous two. This is exactly like a list.numbers. However, list.numbers is having an additional argument. What is the step value? Let's look into the method number 3. Let me delete the 2 steps which I have added. Let's go to the custom column. In the Power Query, there is a special symbol. Let me give the new. There is a special symbol. Let's put in the flower bracket. In the flower bracket, generally we keep the list, right? I'll put 1 dot 10. Whenever I put 1 dot 10, it's going to create a list. Start from 1 till 10. But in this case, I don't want 10. I don't want to give it as a constant. I want to delete this 10. I want to take a reference of quarterly payment so that it's going to create a list for me 1 dot whatever the number it's going to have for each line item, that number will be replaced here. So 1 dot 4 in the flower bracket, meaning 1 to 4 it's going to take a list. 1 dot 3 means 1 to 3 it's going to take a list, and so on. If I click OK, it has created a new list. This list is having 4 values, 3 values, 2 values, 4 values, and 1 value. This step may be different. After this, it is exactly the same. I have to expand. This is exactly the same answer what you got here. And in this case, you cannot find a serial number. However, this case, we found the serial number. Now I can just close and load 2, close and load 2. all for the time being, I'll load it as a connection. No problem. Now I'll zoom little less. Now I'll keep my cursor here. Now I'll go to queries and connections. Let's load the first one. Load two. I want to load into the table. Let me click OK. The first one got loaded. Let me go to the second one. Load two. I want to load into the table in the same existing workbook from here. Last but not the least, let's go to the third one. Load two into the table. Let me close this. I want to load where from here. Click OK. All three got loaded. Now what I can do probably instead of keeping there, maybe I can just keep these all. Let me cut this and paste from here. Excellent. Now you can see easily if at all you change any values here, whether all these got changed automatically or not. Let me put this as a 2, 1, 4, 5. Do you think it worked? Absolutely. Let's go to the data, refresh all, boom. Check it out, Seven and Sons repeated 2 times. In this case also repeated 2 times. In this case also repeated 2 times. Along with the serial number 1, 2. Upalapati group is only one item. Astra Finance is repeated 4 times, so it got repeated 4 times. Along with the serial number, you can find it. You can simply just change the values based on your own method. Let me put from 1 to 5. Right? Let's refresh. Let's refresh. Let's refresh. Automatically, everything will get refreshed. Right? Copy paste special values. Now you finally refresh whatever the data you have here, that will get refreshed. Now check it out. Saran and Sons got repeated 3 times. Excellent, right? At many situations, this can help you out. This technique can be a lifesaver in many real time case studies, including inventory management, event organizing, manufacturing schedules, and many more. Whether you are detailing product units, organizing event booths, or planning manufacturing cycles, this method offers clarity and details. I hope you all enjoyed this video. In the next video, we'll talk about a different practical case study. Till then, take care. Bye bye.